living your dream life is not what you think it is. We have an image in our mind when we envision our dream life. You probably have this as well. You have an image in your mind where you're like, okay, I want to drive this amazing car. I want to have a job I enjoy doing. I want to have a girlfriend. I want to have everything I want to have. Everyone has different goals, but I want to build my dream house. It's amazing. These goals are amazing, and I really encourage you to achieve them. I'm not someone who's going to tell you, oh no, you don't want to achieve these goals. No, that's not the message. The message here is that we have one huge misunderstanding with the envisionment of our dream life, which no one really seems to talk about on YouTube. I feel like everyone is talking about, okay, create your dream life. These are the steps. This is what you want to do. I've created my dream life. I've made millions of dollars. These things are amazing. But if you don't understand this one huge misunderstanding that everyone has, you're going to become the millionaire that's not happy with his life. You're going to be the guy that has a lot of money but nothing else. And you hear every millionaire online talking about it. It's like, I achieved the things that I thought were going to make me happy, and I didn't get happy. I was even more depressed, or I was more unhappy when I achieved my goals than I was before. And I wish I could enjoy the process more. Everyone says that. And I want to give you the tools in this video and the information in this video to prevent that. To prevent you living a life or striving towards a future goal, to live a miserable life, an unhappy life, only to find out later that this goal didn't make you happy. Okay? So let's get straight into it. I will give you a quick example of how this worked and how I figured this out in my own life. So about 2 years ago, I had the goal of making 2K a month online from my laptop passively. It's a goal a lot of people want to achieve, 2.5K profit a month with not too much work, maybe 4 hours a day in the morning, and being able to travel the world. So I wanted to make that amount of money from my laptop and travel to Thailand. I was striving towards it. I was like, if I can achieve this goal, I have so much freedom. It's going to be so amazing. I'm going to live this amazing life. And there's nothing wrong with this goal. A lot of people have this goal, and it's still an amazing goal. I really want to drive home. I'm not the guy that says you don't want to strive goals. You should be happy right now. No, that's not the message. The thing was, I was striving so hard to achieve this goal in months. I was striving. I was working hard. I was hurried all the time. I was like, I need to get to this goal, and then I'm going to be happy. So these months in my life, I was just working all the time, like not making time to enjoy my life. I was grinding. And eventually I booked a ticket to Thailand. I achieved my goal. I launched an e-commerce brand, supplement brand, and it took off. I made 2.5K profit in the first month, and I went straight to Thailand. And I arrived in Thailand, and I was still unhappy. I still had these same thought patterns I had before. I just took myself, all my problems, all my internal battles with me to Thailand. Only the environment changed, but nothing really changed. And I talked with my friend. I was like, he was a bit depressed back then, and I was like, okay, if I would give you $2 million right now, $10 million right now, how happy would that make you? And he was like, yeah, I would. If I would still have this internal state, I would still feel miserable all the time, be depressed all the time, or in my case, be anxious, because I've been struggling with that. Nothing is really gonna change. You're still gonna have the same state of mind. You're gonna feel exactly the same when you drive that supercar, when you live in that nice apartment. You take your patterns, you take your problems with you. It's just a reflection. Your life is just a reflection from the internal, and you hear so many people say it, but think about it for yourself. You've had goals in the past, right? You've had goals in the past, and you've achieved a few of them. Maybe you've achieved one of them. Did that bring you the happiness you thought it was going to bring you? Well, if you want, you can pause the video and think about it for yourself, but ultimately the answer would be no. You thought achieving this goal would make you happy. But ultimately, it didn't give you what you thought it was going to give you, right? So That's a very important thing to understand. So what we are doing is we think about a goal. Okay, let's take it back to the dream life. We think that this dream life or the achievement of this goal will bring us happiness. So we need to get there, we need to achieve this in order to be happy. And that's a very, very important thing. We think we need something to give us happiness. We think we need something to feel good, to enjoy our life. All these things. I'm writing here from the journal because it's a pretty big script. So it's a needing. It's a needing. We need something from the future, and this implies future. So we need something from the future to give us happiness, which means right now we are not happy, we are not content, we are not feeling like we want to feel, but when we work hard enough to achieve this thing, we can be happy. And what is this thing, this goal? What is it? Think about it. It's a thought about a goal. And this thought is a visualization of how the future would be. So once you achieve that visualization, that thought created image in the future, then you're gonna be happy. But I hate to break it to you, the future doesn't exist. And what I mean with this is there's only this present moment. The future is created by thought. You never experience the future. You always experience the present moment. Well, a lot of spiritual teachers say this, but it's ultimately true. The past is just a memory, and the future is just a visualization, just an envisionment of how things would be. So you're constantly in this present moment, in this life, in your life, thinking about something you want to achieve in the future that will give you happiness. Let's say you want to make 10,000 euros a month, $10,000 a month, what you want to say. Let's say it takes me 1.5 years to get there, okay? If I would be, okay, I need to make 10,000 a month and then I'll be happy and then I can live my dream life. It makes me, for 1.5 years, not enjoy my life, just hurried, just working to some future point. And the moment I achieve that future point, I may be happy for a little bit, I can enjoy things, and then it's normal again, I get used to it again, and it didn't bring me happiness, and then I realize it. We don't want to live that life where we're constantly striving towards a future goal that we think will give us happiness. What if we flip it around? What if we would really realize that we don't need anything to be happy? We don't need to change anything. We don't even need to become happy. We don't need to get rid of anything. We don't need to get rid of how we're feeling. We don't need to get rid of our current life situation. We don't need to fix our life in order to become happy. What this is, what I'm talking about, this I need this, I want this to become happy, it's a striving mechanism from the mind. It's a thought pattern from the mind. That's all it is. Think about the moments you were happy, okay? And I mean small moments, right? So like a small moment would be maybe you had a nice family dinner with Christmas and you had an amazing conversation, you were drinking a little bit. Maybe you had an amazing workout with friends. Maybe you were watching the sunset with some friends. Maybe even you were petting your dog or you were playing with your dog. I don't know. I don't know what makes you happy. Maybe you were having sex. You know, it can be anything that makes you happy. Were you in this moment constantly thinking about some future thing you needed to achieve? Were you constantly thinking about something you needed to get rid of in order to become something? Were you obsessed over becoming something? Or were you just enjoying what was happening, what you were experiencing? That was it, right? If you think about it yourself. You were, in the moment you were watching a sunset with your friends and drinking something, or you had this amazing vacation with your friends, or you had great sex, you were not thinking about, oh my god, I need to achieve something in the future, and then I can have this and I can get this, and oh, I need to get rid of this. No, you were not thinking that this. You were just enjoying life. So normal people, or normal advice at this moment would be, you have to fill your life with these experiences. You have to fill your life with friends and enjoyment so you can enjoy your life. You have to go on vacation regularly with your friends so you can enjoy your life. Well, sort of. It's mediocre advice. But the thing we don't realize here, the thing that the people don't realize here, is a bit more fundamental. And it's, why are you happy in those moments that you are with your friends, that you are with your family, that you are with your girlfriend? Because the only thing that happens is there's an absence of these thought patterns. And these thought patterns can be different for everyone, right? Everyone has their own thought patterns. Maybe with you it's a thought pattern of fear. Oh, I need to get rid of this fear. Oh, I feel super fearful. Oh, I think something is going to happen. Or it's a depression. I don't really have had a depression, so I can't really talk about this from experience. But depression, you are thinking about the past a lot, and you hate yourself, or you think, oh, I need to achieve this, or you put this pressure on yourself. The thing is, in the moments that you experience these brief moments of happiness, the thing that happens there is there's an absence of these annoying and heavy thought patterns. And that's what you call happiness. That's what you call joy and enjoyment. It's not the experience that gives you this joy. It's the experience that makes you forget about your thoughts and forget about yourself for a second, for a minute, for an hour, in order for you to experience life as it is. So, we don't need these experiences to give us happiness. We need the absence of these dominating and negative thought patterns to give us happiness. But it's not even like that. It's even a bit deeper. So I wrote down, we don't need something to create or give us happiness. Rather, it's the letting go of the thought patterns that create our unhappiness. So we don't need something or someone or anything in this world or a nice car to give us happiness. It's rather a letting go of the thought patterns that are creating our unhappiness in this very moment. Realize that one for a second. It's not about achieving happiness. It's about letting go of our unhappiness. But the thing with this unhappiness is it is unconscious. You are not conscious that you are thinking these thoughts and that you are ultimately creating these thoughts in your head, and that's the very root of your unhappiness. That's the very root of it. We don't notice it. We are caught in it. We are caught in our minds. We are caught in our egos. We don't seem to have a choice to think these thoughts. So how do we get rid of this? How do we let go of this? Once we fully realize that it is indeed these thought patterns that are dictating our lives, that are creating our reality right now, because we are already creating our reality. It's not something we have to do in the future. We are already doing it. So once we realize we are creating our unhappiness, our fear, our depression in this very moment, we ask ourselves, how do we let go of this? So, first of all, the biggest thing in this is you think that you are thinking these thoughts. And that's a difficult one to understand. So, you think that you are these thoughts, or that you are someone in here that is thinking these thoughts. So you are living from an image of yourself, of who you think you are, what you think you are capable of, what you think you should be doing, all the pressure you put on yourself, all your judgments, all these things. You think you are that. So, and then you think, how can we get rid of these thoughts? How can I get rid of these thoughts? But that's another thought. So that makes it very difficult for the mind. You're like, fuck, how can I get rid of this? But relax. I'm gonna go into it. So once you realize this you are talking about, this self-image, these judgments, these are all thoughts, and it's a whole construct that's created by the mind, and it is basically who you think you are. And you've been living from this your whole life, from a person in your head who you think you are, and who needs to get somewhere, who needs to achieve something, who is something, who wants something, all these things. It's all thought patterns in the mind that you think you are, and it creates fear. It creates a separation between you and what you experience, you and your feelings. And there's as if there's a separate you that's sort of located in your head or in your body, and it thinks things, and it knows things that it knows things, and all kinds of stuff, you know. And this you that we are talking about, this internal you, it is fearful. See if you can relate to this. Is it fearful? Is it living from fear? Is it like contracted, like it's tense? Does it feel serious? Does it feel heavy? Is it reactive? As in, that thing made me angry, now I'm fucking angry. Is it problem focused? Does it look for a solution? But ask these questions and compare it to yourself when you were 5 years old. Compare it to that version of you, because in that version of you, you weren't so heavily thought and mind dominated. So lay yourself currently next to who you were when you were a kid and ask them, are you more fearful right now? Are you more contracted right now? Are you less free? Are you more heavy? Are you more serious? Are you more problem focused? Is there more future you think about? Are you more reactive, more angry, quicker? Are you more negative? Are you, this attitude what I'm talking about? It's probably like that. When you were younger, you were more free, you were more playful, you were more open, you were more, dancing, light, all this type of stuff, all the opposites from the traits I just talked to you about. So you are more serious, mind, future orientated right now. So that tells me and that tells you that you are living from your mind more than when you were younger. And people live from their mind in certain degrees. I've been living from my mind very heavily, and that's why I made this transformation from going to extremely fearful and what was his face? And extremely anxious all the time to more to more light. Not that I'm fully enlightened, but I changed. I went through the journey, so that's why I'm also making this content. And you live your life as if it's a constant voiceover on what you see. You're constantly think about what you see. You're judging someone. You're thinking of something that's gonna go wrong. You're thinking about what you should be doing, what you need to be doing. It's always something you need to be doing, and it's always something that is wrong with how it is right now. The real base and the real root, how you can see these thoughts. What is the core? What is the main thing that all these thoughts have in common? It's always that it doesn't accept things as they are right now. It doesn't accept yourself as it is right now. It doesn't accept the world as it is right now. It is always something has to change. I need to get somewhere, or I need to be doing something. In order to achieve something, I need a heaviness. I should be doing this. It's not a freedom of I want to be doing this. It's I need to. And that creates heaviness, when someone says, you need to be doing this. You're doing that to yourself. You need to be doing this. And it doesn't matter where this comes from. I'm not interested. I'm not interested if it's from a school system, from a past life, all this stuff. I'm not interested. The thing is, what is the root of it? I told you what what the core of it is. Do you see what I mean? Do you see that all these thought patterns is denying the present moment? It's denying how you're feeling right now. It's denying the world as it is right now. It always wants something else than what it is right now. It always wants to change what is. But you cannot change what is, because it already is. Eckhart Tolle said, what is more stupid than wanting to change what is? Because it already is. You know? So, like, honestly. So we are busy with a thing that doesn't even make sense. And these thought patterns are endless. It goes, it goes, it goes, it goes. It never achieves what it wants to achieve, because it's a pattern. And the thing with the pattern, it's repetitive. So how do we let go of this repetitive? So we've acknowledged it, right? We've acknowledged that we have a repetitive thing in our mind that limits us, okay? And we feel constrained by it, and we know we are not living to our fullest potential because we're getting limited by something, and we don't really know what it is. But once we realize it's just our thoughts, we're just living from our thoughts and from a mental construct created by the mind. Enough about the construct in the mind. How do we let go of it? First of all, a lot of people do the approach of change your self-image, change your beliefs about yourself, think positive thoughts, and I don't like this. I don't like this advice. You know why I don't like it? Look at it like this. You are viewing the world through a lens, right? And this lens can be very negative, with very negative thoughts, or you can try and change it and have a positive self-image and have a positive lens. But it doesn't take away the fact that you're still watching your life through a lens. Maybe it's a positive lens, but then why are you watching it through a lens? You don't need to watch your life through a lens. You don't need to fix your lens. Just get away from it. Or as in, let go of the whole lens and view reality as it is. Just like you did as a kid. It's not something difficult. It's our natural state of being. It's just that we got disconnected from it. So how do we realize the lens is not needed? By realizing we are not this perspective. That creates another perspective, or that lets you sink deeper into your real perspective, which is not limited by thoughts. So once you realize you are not this lens and you are not this perspective, in that very moment you can drop it, because you don't need to be it anymore, and you realize that these thoughts have never been you. And that's the beautiful thing, or that's the beautiful experience, or that's the beautiful remembrance of who you are. And people call it spiritual awakening, and people have made whole religions out of it. But ultimately you cannot understand it by the mind. And the mind really wants to understand it, but it's a letting go of even trying to understand it. So it's a big trust in something bigger. But first, that sounds very easy, just trust life. But to realize that we've been living with these negative thoughts for so long, it has created a lot of emotions and a lot of suffering in our body. Emotions are the reaction of the body on your thoughts. So if you've had a lot of negative and heavy thoughts, there's a lot of negative and heavy energy field, or I don't even like to call it energy field. It's a lot of heavy and negative emotions stored up and stuck in your body. So it's first the main priority to go into your pain, to face your pain, face your fears, and to stop getting away from it. And to realize that by getting away from it, you create your suffering. So it's time to get to the bottom of this. And invite it in. Go into the meditation, do a breathing exercise, and invite it in. Just invite your pain in. Invite your dark side in, your painful side you don't want to see. Invite it in. Invite your fears in. The moment you invite it in and you stop fighting it, it loses its power over you. But you have to find it out for yourself. You have to experience this yourself. I can only point towards this experience, but you have to go in it yourself. And I encourage you to go into a meditation. Just close your eyes, maybe listen to some emotional music or some nice meditative music. Close your eyes. Do some breathing. Just really go into yourself. Make sure you're alone and invite it in. Invite the pain in. Feel it. Don't feel it to get rid of it, but really feel it. Really ask yourself, what is this trying to tell me? What parts of myself have I not loved yet? Have I not acknowledged yet? Which part of myself haven't I fully invited in so I can make peace with myself? What are the areas I still want to make peace or need to make peace with in order to live my life? And from that state, once you are calm, once you realize these thoughts aren't you and you can let go of it, there's a new dimension that opens up. And this dimension has freedom because you don't need to do anything anymore. You don't have all these heavy things on you, heavy plans, heavy agendas. Oh, I need to achieve this. No, you are good enough. You are free in that state. And from that freedom, you can create. From that freedom, you can start creation. You can make that amazing business. You can build an amazing house. You can do all these things, but not to get something out of it to make you happy, but to give something. And in this giving, you can give your gift to the world. As David Data says, you can give your gift to the world. You can give. And then, because the world is a mirror, the world will start giving back. And that's what I'm going to try the next. Well, that's what I'm going to try from now. That's what I'm going to do from now. I'm going to give. Just give without trying to get anything from it. Just give because you want to give. Not give because you give and you think you're going to get something back. No, give because you can give. And receive also. Be also open for receiving. Giving and receiving is also an openness in which you are open for all the negative parts of life, but also all the positive parts. You are open for the total of it. Not only, I want to feel good, no. Because you can feel everything, and because you let yourself feel bad, you can feel free from all of this. Well, I just encourage you because I don't want to go too much into the spiritual concepts and all that type of stuff, because I just feel like people don't really resonate with that, but maybe that's a limiting belief of myself. Let me know in the comments if you resonated with this at all, or do you think I'm just talking some spiritual nonsense and woo-woo in some garden where a lot of people are walking around. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if it resonates with you. If you want to have a call with me one-on-one where you can just tell your life story, tell what you're struggling with, and I can give you some advice. Maybe I can give you some tools on that. You can book a call with me. It's the first link in the description. It's completely free. Maybe later I'm going to start something like a paid program to help people more. I don't know how things will go. But for now, you just can book a call with me for free and check how we can make your life more free and ultimately live your dream life. That's it. See you later, guys.